Yeah, so now it takes me to the design summary page. Here I have here it's showing me certain design parameters, the basic information about the design, and right now they are not updated as I have not started with my design yet. So now I'll go on to my design studio straight away. Here I have an icon which turns to blue when I hover over it, and it says edit in studio. I'll go into that. Yeah, so the image which I had selected, the satellite image of my site, has popped up into this window, and this is my design platform. Here to my left, like on your left here, you can see all the tools which will help me design a particular site, and on the right I have all the properties related to this particular site. So I'll start away with the design. The first tool I have is of model, and inside that I have polygon. So I'll take polygon. This is basically the tool which I use to construct RCC roofs and sheds. So I'll start away with this roof, and I'll start tracing this roof. So while I do that, you'll notice that all of these angles are automatically snapping at 90 degree.
I have a question for the location, that how do you find out, like can you enter the just the coordinates and search out the location, location?
Yes, you can do that. I just actually entered the coordinates only to get the location.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the outline of my roof, and on the right you can see the properties have come up. So it's asking me the base height and top height. So as it is a RCC roof, I'll keep the base height and top height as same. I'll take it to be 15 meters. Then I'll move down to add on a parapet of 1 meter, and then I'll mark this as placeable and update this. So as I was telling you that you don't need to use different softwares for doing 3D modeling and doing the 2D layouts. So as and when I was drawing this in 2D, it has also taken up its form in 3D. I'll show you how. Here you can see the views icon. I'll go into the views and show you how. So here you can see the thing I had drawn, I had traced, it has taken a 3D form as well. So I'll go back, and now I'll draw all the obstacles which I can see on this roof. So I'll again choose the polygon and start tracing the obstacles I have on my roof. Here I'll change the properties of these obstacles, and I'll mark this as not placeable over here, as I don't have to place my panels over here, and update this. Similarly, I'll trace other obstacles which are here on the roof and change their properties as well. Mark this as unplaceable and update this. Now here I have a shed kind of a structure as well. It's not very clear in the picture, but as we have designed this site earlier, so we have a shed kind of a structure. For that I can even make pillars. So I'll show you how. I'll take its height as 2 meters, mark this as not placeable, and update that. So I need 4 pillars, so I don't need to make them again and again. I have a simple option of copying and pasting. So as we do it in the Windows applications, I have the option to copy paste. See the I can just Control C and Control V, and I'll be easily able to duplicate those particular polygons and place them wherever I like. So here I have made these pillars. Now I have to make a shed kind of structure. I'll again take a polygon like this. I'll keep its height as 0.01, mark this as not placeable, and update. So I'll just show you once how it's looking in 3D till now. So here you can see I had made 4 pillars, they have come up, and a shed kind of structure has come up over here. All the obstacles I had drawn have come up in 3D. I'll go back. Now here I can locate some water tanks as well. So for that also I have a modeling tool by the name cylinder. I'll just go into the model, take up cylinder, and draw these. I can vary the height as well, so I'll keep it as 1 meter and update this. Similarly, I have one obstacle over here, so I'll trace that as well. Right, so I'm done with my obstacles now. So in 3D it's coming up like this. Now once I'm done with my layout, the next thing I want to do is to place my panels. And to place my panels, I should be aware of what all the areas on the roof are which will be best for placing the panels. As in which are the areas which will not be having much effect of the near shading, right? So for that I have a heat map tool here. I'll go on heat map and I'll just show this. So what it does is that it gives me a color code. Here you can see a color code. So right now you can see primarily three colors. There's a one yellow, a little yellowish kind of a color, then we have a purplish, and then we have a reddish kind of a color, and green. So basically yellow and green correspond to the same thing. These are one above the other, that's why it's showing different colors right now. So this is what we can see. So it has given me a fair idea that okay, the yellowish regions are the one where I can particularly place my panels, and they'll be free from any kind of shading, right? I'll go back and turn this off. Now I have to place my panels. For that I have an option of fill face over here on my right. So I'll just go on and click fill face. So this automatically places panels over here. So what it does is that it places panel in such a way that it's oriented in true south, that is 180-degree azimuth, and so as to realize the maximum capacity possible on the placeable area of this roof. So that's why it's placed in this fashion. Right now you can see in 3D the structures are also visible for these particular panels. So these panels have been placed, and I even have the option to vary the properties of this particular subarray. On the right you see the template type, which is set to fixed mount. As this is a RCC roof, then I have an option to choose a panel which can be of any make and any wattage, which I can search over here and choose that particular panel. Then there's the tilt azimuth. Then we have a row spacing mode. So here we have an automatic row spacing mode as well in the software. So that this what it does is that according to the tilt and azimuth, it calculates an optimum value of row spacing and orients the panels accordingly, so as to avoid any kind of inter-row shading, right? And similarly we have other properties of the table like table size up, table size wide. So if I go on and make the table to be 2 cross say 3 and update this, so accordingly this will change and is taken this form, this table, and I have the liberty to even move it, just selecting it and moving it and locating it wherever I like, right? So this is about placing the panels. So I'm done with this. So now I want to be very sure that my system is optimized, and to check that what I'll do is that I'll go to this solar axis feature, and here I'll show this. So what it does is that it again gives me a kind of color coding. Here you can see primarily three colors: a yellowish, a light green, and a darker green. So here at the bottom you can see a legend, a scale which tells me what these colors basically mean. So here the darker green says that these are the panels which will not be having much effect of shading, near shading, while the panels which are in yellowish will be having a little bit of shading effect. So this allows me to optimize my system. For example, if I want to optimize my system, I can set the solar axis threshold say as 95 and enter this. All right, it's a 3 cross 3, 2 cross 3 table. Right now I'll change this again to as 1 cross 1 to show you the effect properly. Change this to 1 cross 1. Now you'll see, and I'll do the solar axis again here. Yeah, so you can see a red color also appears. So these are the panels which will be most shaded, and this we can realize as well because the mumpties and all the obstacles are shadowing these are shadowing these red panels. So when I want to optimize my system, I'll go on to optimize and I'll get an option to even decrease my size, the capacity of the plant, or feed in a particular value of solar access threshold. So when I slide this slider, you'll observe that the panels which are the most shaded ones, that is the red and the yellow ones, will go away. You can see this. So it allows me to optimize my system properly. It never happens that my well performing panels are going away. Similarly, I can put in a value of threshold, solar access threshold, say 95, and all the panels below it will go away. So yes, right now I'm done with this design. I'll just save this away. And now I'll add an inverter. So here the properties of this particular system have come up. So here I can see the DC size to be 1.57. So I'll go on and select an inverter of say 1 kilowatt, and I'll add this. So after I've added the inverter, I have an option to see the most sought after parameters of any solar rooftop. That is the annual generation, spec gen, and performance ratio well within the design studio. So I'll just go and click on calculate generation. So here all the values have come up. So this allows me to have an estimate of how well my system is going to perform over the year. So in case I want to make any changes, I don't have to visit the design again and again. I can do it well within here. So yeah, this is about the
Ali,
some.
can I request one thing, please?
Yes,
Ali, can you convert this design into a 5 kilowatt system?
sure, sir.
Place about 5 kilowatts of panels with an elevated roof.
Yes, I'll do that.
Thank you.
I'll change them. I'll first take the table size as say 3 cross 3. Update this. Yes. I'll choose a higher kilowatt panels. Yeah, so now the capacity is 3.51, and if I want to add more panels, I have an option to add them manually as well. So I'll go on add table, and I'll get a table over here. So I have an option to even place it above these, as I have made these superstructures. So right now I'll show you how. I'll just, yeah, here you can see this. The panels I have placed above the Mumty as well. Here. And I have an option to even change the height of these panels. So I'll change the height to say 3 meters to convert it into superstructure, and you will see the change in 3D yourself here. Both the panels you can see have risen up. So here I've increased the capacity to 7.02 kilowatts now. Right. Similarly, I can change the capacity according to my design needs. And right now I'll again change my inverter, as the system is now 7.02 kilowatt. Take a 6 kilowatt inverter here and add this, and I'll again calculate the generation. You'll see the figures revise here. All the figures have revised. And in case you want to change your losses and then see what's the effect of those losses on this particular site, you have an option to do that as well. You go to the design settings, go to the losses, and change the losses. For example, I keep the soiling losses as 2%, DC ohmic losses as 1, and I change the inverter efficiency to say 98.5%, and I'll save this. And I'll again go and calculate the generation. You'll see a lot of change over here. Here the PR has improved, the annual generation spec gen, all of them have improved. So I'll just save this design and go back to create a report for this. So it has brought me back to the design summary page, and here you can see all the information has updated as I have completed my design. And as I move down, I can see basic information about this particular site. And in the end, I have a pricing section, so where I can quote a particular price for say for example, I want to quote 40,000 rupees per kilowatt, and the tax slab of 8.9, expected life of say 25 years, and discount rate I'll set to 0, and I'll just confirm this. And I'll go back and I'll feed in the client requirements as well. For example, the consumption here is 2000 kilowatt hours a month, average price of 8, and the tariff escalation as 2%. I'll go to this design and I'll generate the report over here. When I click on download report, it asks me that what are the pages I want to see. So I have an option to even customize that. So all the pages which I don't want, I can just uncheck them. And right now I'll click all of them, confirm this. Yes, so the report has come up. So the report has come up. Here you can see the project name is appearing and it is showing the geo coordinates of that particular site. Here on the right, the design which you have made, the snapshot of that is available. Then here your contact details, your customer's contact details. Then your about us page, which would be of your company, and here would be your company's logo and about your company over here. Moving down further, I have the system metrics, which are the annual production PR and SpecGen, the most sought after parameters in any solar rooftop plant. And further down, I have the estimated savings page. So it's telling me that over the span of 25 years, how much I would be able to save, the payback period, the internal rate of return, and this similar and the same data is depicted over here in the graphical format. I moved down further to see the bill of materials, basically telling me how many banners and what make I have used, and about the inverters as well. Similarly, you'll be yeah, able to have like you'll be having an option of DC-DB and AC-DB very soon. I move down further. This is a table which shows me what would be the production for each month of the year. Further down, it's telling me the irradiation data for that particular site and then the PR for each of the months and then the annual average PR. Further down, it's telling me about the two subarrays which I had made. So if we remember correctly, we had two subarrays. Both of them were 3x3. One was above the mumty and one was on the roof. And it's telling me all the details about those two. I move down further. It's telling me the shadow pattern. The shadow which would be there on the roof at 9 a.m. on June 21 and at 5 p.m. on June 21. Similarly for December 22, that is the winter and summer solstice, both of them the shadow patterns can be seen throughout the solar window, and it gives me a conclusion that 98.98% of time my solar plant is shadow free. So it gives me a fair idea that how optimized my plant is. The next thing is the heat map and solar axis page. This is something which I had showed you in the design studio, so a snap of it. Moving down further, it's telling me the losses. The white depicts the irradiance losses. The bluish color tells me about the DC side losses, and the greenish color tells me about the AC side losses. I move down further, so here is a cost of not going solar page. So here is a bar graph comparison of the two cases. The blue says bill without solar, and white says the bill with solar. So if I am like if my prospect is going after the solar which I'm offering, he'll be paying this much amount to the utility over a year for electricity, while if he chooses not to go with the solar, he'll be paying this much amount. So you can make them realize that there is this much amount of difference which he can save if he goes for solar. Next thing is the impact on environment, the simulation and the and all the carbon dioxide offset data equivalent acres of forest and the coal burn which would be avoided, similarly about the petrol consumption which would be avoided. So this is basically the impact on environment which this particular solar site would have. And in the end you have the thank you page. Here again would be your company's branding and your company's logo and the contact information of your company. I'll quickly take you to the first page. The very first page below this image we have a link to click and see the 3D model. I'll click this and open this up. So this is something which you can access even on the mobile. So if you're sending a person this report on mobile, he'll be able to access this. So when I zoom in, you can see the 3D model of my particular site is coming up over here with the basic information, the main parameters being depicted on the left, and also my prospect will be having an option to see the shadow pattern throughout using these sliders at any time of the day and on any day of the year. So yes, This was about the report section, and now we are done with the residential side. So I'll just take you to a commercial site as well, as this was a small site. So I have just shown you how we designed through this using this, and I'll now take you to one commercial site. So I'll go back to my page and I'll add a new project over here. Yeah, I'll fix this again into my window as I had done for my residential site, and again I'll keep the name say as ABC2. I'll keep Amritsar's name as my client details and leave the rest of these blank, and I'll confirm this. So this is all a repeat from previous site. Basically takes me to the project summary page, and I'll just move on to add a design again. Yes, so here I'll go directly into the design studio, and now I have this particular site in front of me which I have to design. Here I have a RCC roof as well as a commercial complex shed. So I'll start with this RCC roof first. I'll start tracing it right away as I was doing in the residential site. I'll keep its height as say 10 meters. Mark this as placeable. I'll keep the parapet as 1 and update this. Now I'll swiftly trace all the obstacles over here. Mark this as not placeable as it's an obstacle. I don't want to place my panels over there. Right now I'm going to the model and choosing this polygon tool again and again. But as you go through this software and as you get versed with the software, you'll be aware of the shortcuts which we can use. So I can directly even use P to realize the polygon. So it increases my speed while designing. Yes, yeah. I have a polygon here as well. One, mark this as not placeable, update. Mark this as not placeable and update. Yes, so in 3D, when I go and see, it's looking something like this. So all the obstacles have taken up shape well under 2 minutes. And here I have some cylindrical obstacles as well. So I'll just use my cylinder tool to draw these. And again, I'll copy paste this and not draw it again and again. Yeah. Now I have my roof ready. Again, I can have the heat map and see how it looks. And the color code tells me again that okay, these are the yellowish are the regions where you if you place the panels would be the best for your efficiency, and the regions which are showing a little purplish and the darker regions are the ones which will be affected from near shading, as we can realize because of these mumpties and because of these obstacles. I'll go back and turn this off, and I'll add on my panels now. So my panels are added in 1 cross 1 orientation, and it has taken a tilt of 20 degree. This you can change at your will. Similarly, I'll go after a Vari panel. So I have a library where I can select a particular panel as well. So if I want a Vari 390 watt panel, I go and search in the library. Just a second. 330 watt panels, and I'll choose this, and I'll go down and keep the tilt say as 18 degree. So when I change the tilt, you'll see that the row spacing automatically changes. So here, I've kept the tilt as 18 degrees, so the row spacing is 0.969. So if I go on and increase the tilt, and then you'll, yes, okay, yes. So here the row spacing has taken up automatically as 0.969. The fixed mount, yes. So here, over here, you can see these particular panels being placed. I'll go into the design settings and just turn on this. Yeah, so here I have constructed this particular site. Now to show you how we can construct a shed. Here on my right of this particular side, I can visualize a shed over here. What I'll do is that I'll start away by making a half shed. I'll just trace this particular half of the shed. Yes, and on the properties here on the right, I'll put in the base height say as 10 meters, and I'll put in the tilt as say 8. It's not, just give me a second, just refresh this. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. There was some lag in my system because of the internet, so it's not taking up the form. I'll just quickly change this. In the meanwhile, if any one of you has any question, they can put it in the chat box. So we'll take them up as soon as we are finished with this demo. Yeah, so I was telling you about the shed type structure. So I'll take the polygon and I'll start tracing this half shed over here. Yes, and now I'll keep the base height as say 10, and I'll put in the tilt as say 8 degrees. So it'll automatically take the top height, and I'll mark this as placeable. And on the azimuth section, I can see that this shed is declined towards the southwest. So when I click over here on the azimuth, I have an option of 237.41 degree. So it will align it towards the southwest, and I'll update this. I'll show you how it looks in 3D now. So here you can see a half shed has been made. I'll go back, and now I'll place my panels over here. So when I fill face this, you'll see that automatically it flush mounts the panels over here. Here you can see it has all flush mounted over here, right? And similarly, if I show you one thing, if I just delete this survey for once, and I even make these turbo vents here, right? I paste them one after the other, 5 of these on my roof. And now when I do the fill face, you'll see that automatically these obstacles will be avoided and the flush mount would take place here. So these obstacles have been avoided and flush mount has taken place. So now as we know, this is a shed structure, so we require walkways to carry on the maintenance and all the cleaning activities. So we have an option to add the walkways as well. I'll go to the model, take a walkway, and I'll start and just place a walkway over here. So yeah, my walkway is also placed, and accordingly, due to the width of my walkway, the system orientation has been revised. The system capacity has been revised. Similarly, I can even add horizontal walkways over here as per my design and as per my need, and it will automatically get updated the capacity. Yeah. So right now I am done with half of the shed. Now I want to make the other half. So I'll just copy paste this, and but if I now copy paste this, you can realize that this would be declined towards the southwest, but now I want the declination towards the northeast. So we have an option to even mirror it. So I'll just mirror this, as we have an option in AutoCAD. I'll mirror it and place it adjacent to this. Now when I show you in 3D, you can see a complete shed has been made here. I go back and now I want to optimize the system, so I'll go back and see my solar axis. I'll refresh this. So here you can see that the left portion of this shed is in a yellowish color, while the right portion is in the reddish color. This is because this side is declined towards northeast, and these panels are facing towards northeast, and these are facing towards southwest, not to south but still much closer to south. So I also have an option to reverse tilt my panels. So if I want to reverse tilt my panels on this particular shed, I'll go on the Saveris, I'll change the template to fixed mount, and I'll keep the azimuth as 180 degree, and then I'll go down and change the mount height to 0.01, and I'll update this. Now you'll see that the panels will reverse tilt themselves on this particular shed. Yeah, and now when I go and see the solar axis of this particular site, you'll see that there are some panels which will go more towards the greener side here. So now I have optimized my system as well, eliminating all the red panels by using reverse tilting, as this software provides me a good option to reverse tilt as well. I'll show you in 3D how it looks. So you can see here the flush mount has come up on this roof, and here you can see the reverse tilt. Yeah, I turn this off. One more thing I'll show you. Over here we have a feature of sun simulation. So when I turn this on, I have an option to see the shadow pattern at any time of the day and any day of the year. So if I want to see it all throughout the year at 1640, that is 440, I can use this slider and it will show me all the shadows. Similarly, for any time of a particular day, I can have it. And this is basically the data which is used to calculate the solar axis as well as the heat map feature. So I'll just save this, and I'll turn off this sun simulation, and now I'll again go and add inverters. So here we have a size of 204. So I'll go and choose 60 kilowatt inverters, 3 in number, sunrow, and I'll add 3 of them. When I add them, you can see a load ratio also appears over here. So I can make sure well within the studio that okay, my load ratio is matching. Like for a good design, if I want my load ratio to be between 1.1 and 1.2, so I can even realize that over here. Now I'll again go and calculate this generation, and now it's giving me all the data regarding it. So I'll just save this away. Yeah, and one more feature, like an additional feature which helps us to design any site, is a layers feature. So when I go into the views, sorry, when I go into these layers, I have an option to add map. So when I go to the add map, I have the ability to select another source. For example, there are some sites for which the Google Map imagery won't be very clear. So in that case, I can use Bing or A3 as well. If I click on Bing, here you can see the Bing image is coming up. Similarly, the A3 image will come up. So here we realize that A3 image is the most clear. So we could have used this. If initially we would have come up and looked for a better site, we could have used this imagery. Similarly, we have an option to even put in a drone image and design over it. So this is an additional useful feature which this design platform provides to you.
Ali, SLD.
Yes, sir. Just a second. And now as I have added my inverter, this has automatically created a SLD as well. So I'll go into views and I'll go on and click on SLDs. So right now I have to adjust these panels particularly. I'll go back to the 2D. Take the lasso tool. For now I'll just delete some panels over here to show you how the SLD looks. Okay, so now when I go to the SLD, an SLD would be automatically generated for this particular site. Here you can see the SLD and you have an option to take this into AutoCAD as well. So you can get a DXF format of this particular SLD and you can take it into AutoCAD as well for your further analysis and use. So I'll just save this design. And again, I'll go back to the 2D mode. Yes, so this is from the design aspect. So I have designed a shed type structure as well as a RCC roof, which I showed you in the residential. So if you have any kind of doubts regarding the design platform, you can ask me right now. And then I'll move on to the report section. And you can ask me the doubts over there for regarding the report.
Question stating that if the industry roof is dome shaped, how can we design? It can definitely be designed. It takes some extra time and effort, but it can definitely be designed. We can share some photographs of those designs that we have made in curved structures. It is, however, it is a little difficult to still do in any kind of design platform. It is still difficult, but it is possible. So that we can share that with you. Any other questions? Anybody? Ali, please continue.
Okay, so I'll just move on to the report section. And if you have any doubts in the report section, so basically a similar kind of a report would be generated for this as well, as we had seen in the RCC kind of RCC roof for a residential plot. So I'll go back to the design. And I'll again put in the customer consumption details. Say for example 3000 this time. The average price 8.5 and tariff escalation of 2. I'll confirm this. Go back to the design and add the pricing which I'm going to quote to the customer. 35,000 say this time, and I'll cut down the discount to 0 and I'll just confirm this. Now I can again go and download my report.
Ali, can you also please show how, if we have an external structure besides the structures we are supposed to place solar panels on, the shadow analysis and effect of that as well?
Right.
By drawing a structure, you know, about
Yes,
30,
yes,
30
yes.
feet.
I'll show you.
All right, thanks.
So if we go on and take the residential plot which we had taken earlier, right? So I'll take you to that, and when I go into that, yes, yeah. So when I go into the design, here I see that there are no particular buildings which are taller than this particular building. But in case I had a building or a tree which was reaching to the top of this particular roof, then the shading effect of that particular obstacle or tree could also be realized and we can optimize the system accordingly. So for example, if I consider that this roof is at a height which is more than this particular roof. So for example, I'll just construct this to be as a simple structure. And I put its height to be as say 18 meters and update this. So now when I see in 3D, I can see that there is a building over here which is taller than my original building. So it is going to cast some shadows over here. I can see those shadows as well here in the sun simulation. So here you can see the shadow of this particular building starts appearing. And here you can see it's going to affect my panels also to some extent. So I can realize this from this sun simulation feature, and then I can go on to see my solar axis. Okay, so right now this building is not having any effect, so I'll increase its height further, say 25 meters, and update this. And I'll again go and refresh the solar axis. Now you can see that this building is at a much higher height than this particular building. So the shadow of this particular building, which I drew at the last, is affecting my panel's performance over here. So this can also be realized, and similarly I can go on to the optimize function over here and then optimize my system. Or if I can see the color code, and if I am sure that I don't want to keep any panels over here, then I'll simply go to my panel mode and I'll take the panel delete mode and I'll click on all the panels which I want to delete and just click over take over here, and all the panels which I don't want in my design because of the shading will be gone. So here is how you can realize the effect of a particular taller obstacle in the vicinity of your roof. And similarly, you can do it for a tree as well. So we have an option to even place a tree. So somewhere here you can even place a tree, and you have an option to even change the height of that particular tree. So for example, I take this to be say 10 and 15, then update this. So a tree would also be made over here. Here you can see a tree can be also made, and similar to this particular obstacle we had made the taller building, this tree is also going to affect shadows on some portion of the roof, and the optimization for this can also be done accordingly. Yes, so I'll take you back to the report now.
And sorry guys, hello, I am Akib. And there is a option of three structure templates. Show them, Oli.
Which one? Hello.
Templates, the structure templates. Go to the design setting, and
Yes,
there is
okay. Yeah,
option.
so here you have an option of structure template as well. You have pergola low
You,
foundation
you
fix.
can select.
I'll show you how the pergola looks and save this. Now I'll go on. So now the structure has changed. It has taken the pergola structure.
And right now we are working on one more structure type, that is ballast structure. Uh, it will give. It will take around 1 to 2 weeks to come up.
Yes, and you'll be able to realize that blast structure as well, and it will be all visible in the 3D mode as well once it's uploaded. So within a week or two, we are expecting more updates, which will allow you further many features. So yes, so about the report, we had a report. So if you have any doubt in the report, you can ask me.
I have one questions regarding
Yes,
the SLD.
yes.
Can we have a detailed string calculation in it or not?
No, right now you can't have a detailed string calculation, but you have an option to set it according to your needs in that particular SLD. We are working on optimizing the strings as well, so that's in the pipeline. It's also being undertaken.
सर आप अपनी स्ट्रिंग्स जो हैं वो खुद से डिजाइन कर सकते हैं इसमें अगर आपको लगे कि एक पैनल इधर से उधर करना है उधर से इधर करना है वो आपका काम हो जाएगा
आप खुद की स्ट्रिंग बना लें सर, और
हाँ
आप उसे यहाँ पे एंटर कर सकते हैं। लाइक केबल साइज आप खुद से पहले कर लें, केबल साइजिंग, और आप यहाँ पे एंटर कर देंगे तो आप जो हमारी एसएलडी है उसमें केबल साइज जो डिनोट होती है लाइक 6 स्क्वायर कॉपर केबल आपने यूज किया डीसी साइड, एसी साइड कौन सा यूज किया, तो आप खुद की एक्यूरेट केबल साइजिंग करके यहाँ पे सारी चीजें आप डिनोट कर सकते हैं। डिफरेंट स्ट्रिंग साइज बना सकते हैं, जैसे पीवी फर्स्ट अलाउड नहीं करता डिफरेंट स्ट्रिंग साइज, बट आप यहाँ पे डिफरेंट स्ट्रिंग साइज बना सकते हैं। 18 की और 19 की आप डिफरेंट स्ट्रिंग साइज बना सकते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू योर प्रेफरेंस राइट नाउ। ठीक है, और आपको खुद से
Okay.
बनानी होगी कैलकुलेट करके।
वैसे ऑटोमेटिकली नहीं होगा, अदरवाइज यू कैन डू इट
ऑटोमेटिकली जो होती है वो बाय डिफॉल्ट
बाय
इतनी
डिफॉल्ट।
एक्यूरेट नहीं होती है सर
हम्म।
अभी।
सर एक बार करके दिखा देंगे स्ट्रिंग साइजिंग कैसे अलग करते हैं, एसएलडी में दिखेगी।
अली
हाँ, second. I'll go to the SLD now here. So right now here, when I go into this recommended string size, here it is showing me configurations 4 to 8.
अली first you can check the inverter
Hmm.
DC or AC size. There are two inverters, right? And DC size is less than AC size, I think.
भाई वो पैनल्स डिलीट किए थे ना काफी सारे,
वो डिलीट कर दिए थे।
चेंज कर लो, वो
Yeah.
शैडो की वजह से पैनल्स
So
डिलीट किए।
inverter change कर लो। 2D
इन्वर्टर चेंज कर दो।
2D मोड में जाओ, इन्वर्टर चेंज कर लो। 2D मोड में जाओ, इन्वर्टर चेंज कर लो।
इन्वर्टर
4 किलोवाट का
4
इन्वर्टर
किलोवाट का ले लेता हूं। हाँ, 4
Yep.
changes।
बाकी सारे इन्वर्टर डिलीट कर दो। हाँ, इसे डिलीट करके 4 किलोवाट ऐड करना। 4 किलोवाट डिलीट करना, ठीक है, ये ऐड कर दो। ठीक है, अब
ओके, अभी एसएलडी में जाता हूँ।
yep. ठीक है, क्लिक ऑन इन्वर्टर वन। हाँ, नीचे जाओ, इसे आप डिवाइड
यहाँ
कर
से
दो 6 और 5 की स्ट्रिंग में। या 11 हटाओ आप, 11 को 6 कर दो आप। ठीक है, और स्ट्रिंग के आगे प्लस सिंबल है, उस पर आप क्लिक करो। स्ट्रिंग के आगे जस्ट वन वन के ऊपर स्ट्रिंग है ना, नीचे 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 इन्वर्टर काउंट के नीचे स्ट्रिंग है, उसके प्लस सिंबल, अब क्लिक कर दो आप। यहाँ पे जो ऊपर 1 ऑफ 1 आया है, 1 ऑफ 5 कर दो आप। अपडेट कर दो आप, अपडेट या यू कैन शो दैट।
तो here you have two strings, आपके दो strings बन गए अब अलग अलग, जो आप देख सकते हैं।
With
एक
different
है आपका, दो आपके अलग strings बन गए, एक में 5 मॉड्यूल हैं, एक में 6 मॉड्यूल हैं। तो उसके हिसाब से आपका ये SLD तैयार हो गया। आपके पास इसी तरह अगर मल्टीपल इन्वर्टर्स हो, मल्टीपल स्ट्रिंग साइजिंग हो, वो सारा का सारा आप इसमें एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं जस्ट बाय प्लेइंग विद दिस।
मल्टीपल डिफरेंट वो MPPTs होंगे, मल्टीपल MPPTs, तो आप अपनी स्ट्रिंग साइज डिफर करके लगा सकते हो, यहाँ पे ऐड कर सकते हो।
तो एक इन्वर्टर में अगर आपका बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है, 50 किलोवाट का इन्वर्टर है, 6 एमपीपीटी है, 4 एमपीपीटी है, या 5 इन्वर्टर हैं विद मल्टीपल एमपीपीटीज, क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं होता ना कि कभी भी आप सिर्फ 50 किलोवाट के इन्वर्टर या 10 किलोवाट के कर रहे हैं, तो कॉम्बिनेशन भी हो सकता है। तो अकॉर्डिंगली आप इसको शिफ्ट कर सकते हैं, हर एक में अपने पैनल्स डाल सकते हैं। एंड आपके ये भी हो सकता है कि पैनल्स डिफरेंट हो, तो वो आपका सिलेक्शन भी इसमें हो जाता है।
यस सर, आप सेम छत पे आप डिफरेंट पैनल भी लगा सकते हो, लाइक डिफरेंट कंपनी के दो कंपनी के पैनल भी यूज कर सकते हैं सेम टेबल पे।
So any more questions, gentlemen and ladies, if there are any, please let us know. Miraji, structure is not something that we are focused on here. वो आज से 3 महीने के करीब करीब आ जाएगा आपके पास, लेकिन स्ट्रक्चर जो है अभी विजुअल के लिए है. राइट नाउ इट इज पैनल प्लेसमेंट, शैडो एनालिसिस, फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस, आपका SLD, ये सब आ रहा है. स्ट्रक्चर फॉर विंड लोड नहीं है, स्ट्रक्चर फॉर विजुअल जरूर है इस टाइम पे. I hope I answered your question, correct? Welcome. Any more questions for anybody? We have about 26 participants in this. So if you have any
Sir.
questions, anything, please ask.
Sir, we can get any information regarding the wind loading capacity?
No, sir, you cannot get any information about the wind loading capacity right now. As of right now, nahi hai, but it is definitely in the pipeline. It will take about 3 months for us to get there.
राइट नाउ बेसिकली सर स्ट्रक्चर एज अ टेम्पलेट शो करने के लिए कस्टमर को आप दिखा सकते हैं आपकी रूफ पे अगर हम स्ट्रक्चर के साथ पैनल लगाते हैं तो कैसा लगेगा, ये सारी चीजें.
सर हम स्ट्रक्चर की हाइट कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं.
सर आप फ्रंट लेग बैक लेग सारी चेक कर सकते हैं बट दैट इज नॉट एज मच एक्यूरेट.
ओके.
वो ऑटोमेटिकली कैलकुलेट नहीं होगा, लेकिन शैडो एनालिसिस के यूज करके आप वो स्ट्रक्चर डेफिनेटली ऊपर नीचे कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल आप अगर इस डिजाइन में देखें, लेफ्ट में ममटी है जिसके ऊपर 2 पैनल्स हैं. अगर आप उसको उसके साइड वाले 3x3 के स्ट्रक्चर को आप नीचे ले जाएंगे 1 मीटर पे, तो आपके पैनल में रेड सेक्शन आ जाएगा. अगर आप उसको हाइट दे देते हैं तो वो शैडो फ्री हो जाता है.
ओके. तो मफ्ती की हाइट हम कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, मतलब आप एक बहुत अच्छे तरीके से अंदाजा ले सकते हैं कि इसको कितनी ऊंचाई पे रखना है कि ये शैडो फ्री रहे. ये बहुत आराम से हो सकता है, इसमें कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है. ये देखिए, अभी आप इसका सोलर एक्सेस देख रहे हैं. ये देखिए, ये रेड हो गया. क्यों? क्योंकि 3D में दिखाइए प्लीज अली. वो साइड वाली बिल्डिंग डिलीट कर दो प्लीज. वो उसकी वजह से शैडो आ रहा है सर. नो इश्यूज. आराम से. इंटरनेट आजकल सब लोग घर पे यूज कर रहे हैं, तो कभी भी पूरी बैंडविड्थ नहीं मिलती है.
सर ये जो टॉलेस्ट बिल्डिंग है इसकी हाइट भी कैलकुलेट हो सकती है.
कैलकुलेट नहीं सर, वो आपको पता होनी चाहिए. बिल्डिंग की हाइट
पता होनी चाहिए.
मतलब आपको एक आइडिया आ जाता है, आपको पूछना पड़ता है क्या हाइट है, तो वो हाइट आपकी.
बेसिकली ये होता है ना कि यहाँ पे ग्राउंड से हम देखते हैं कि वो बिल्डिंग कितने फ्लोर की होगी अराउंड. तो ईच फ्लोर अराउंड इंडिया में 10 फीट कंसिडर करते हैं, तो उसके हिसाब से हम कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं लाइक. और अगर आपको पता है तो आप वो डाल सकते हैं, एंटर कर सकते हैं.
Right, so अभी देख सकते हैं, you can see on the screen that right now my mount height is for this particular table has been set to 3 meters, right? And when I do the solar axis over here, you'll see that all the panels are mostly green, right? And when I go on and change the mount height to say 1 meter now and update this, and again go and see the solar axis, now you can see some panels have turned red and yellowish because of the height difference. Now in 3D you can see. Here the height has decreased.
ओके. सर अभी जो शेडो आ रही है ये ऊपर वाले स्ट्रक्चर की आ रही है या मफ्ती की आ रही है?
ममटी की आ रही है. ममटी की मेजरली और ऊपर वाले स्ट्रक्चर की भी ले रहा है. ये एनीथिंग यू ड्रॉ ऑन दिस सॉफ्टवेयर, इट विल कंसीडर दैट शैडो इफेक्ट ओवर देयर. कोई भी चीज जो आप ड्रॉ करते हैं उसका शैडो एनालिसिस सिस्टम लेता है. whether it is panel, whether it is structure, whether it is mumty, anything.
Okay, sir.
Any more questions, anybody?
yes sir.
हाँ, बोलिए.
सर अगर जैसे आपके लाइब्रेरी में जो पैनल्स वगैरह अगर नहीं है तो वो अपलोड कैसे कर सकते हैं अगर मेरा कोई और पैनल हो तो?
उसमें कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. या तो आप हमें भेज दीजिए या आप अपने से भी कर सकते हैं. अली, कैन दे डू इट देमसेल्फ?
सर नहीं, आपने से नहीं, हमें दे देंगे, हम विद इन 2 hours करा देंगे अपडेट वो.
हाँ, आप हमें डेटा शीट दे दीजिए, हम लोग कर देते हैं। वैसे भी इसमें कोई 30,000 पैनल्स ऑलरेडी अपलोडेड है। आई एम प्रिटी श्योर जो भी आप इंडियन मेक या फॉरेन मेक इस टाइम यूज करना चाहेंगे, देयर इज अ वेरी हाई प्रोबेबिलिटी कि वो ऑलरेडी होगा। अगर नहीं है, आप देख रहे हैं साइड में एक चैट आइकॉन है। अली, कैन यू टेक द कर्सर देयर? हाँ, अगर आप यहाँ पे डालेंगे वी हैव समबडी फॉर एटलीस्ट 12 to 14 आवर्स ऑन दिस, यानी कि सुबह 8 बजे से शाम को 8 बजे तक आपको इंस्टेंट रिप्लाई मिल जाएगा। आप इधर डाल दीजिए, वापस कॉल आ जाता है आपको, और आप बस इधर ही डेटा अपलोड कर दीजिए, हम लोग अपलोड करके दे देंगे आपको।
ओके सर।
नो प्रॉब्लम एट ऑल। इन अबाउट अ मंथ वी आर एडिंग दैट फीचर वेयर यू विल बी, आप लोग अपने से कर पाएंगे, यू विल बी एबल टू add in those parameters on your own as well.
राइट नाउ हम इसलिए नहीं देते हैं सर कि अगर थोड़ी सी भी मिस्टेक हुई तो फिर कैलकुलेशन जनरेशन कैलकुलेशन में फर्क आ जाएगा
हाँ,
सारी चीजें,
वो वाला पार्ट है। So
रिजल्ट नहीं आ पाएगा आपका।
we are not responsible for that.
सर वो एक पर्टिकुलर फॉर्मेट में हम लोग फीड इन करते हैं डेटा, सो अगर थोड़ा बहुत भी ऊपर नीचे होगा तो पूरा जनरेशन एनालिसिस खराब होने का चांस रहता है। इस वजह से अभी खुद ही करते हैं हम लोग।
ओके ओके।
Any more questions?
कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं?
कैन वी इंपोर्ट मॉडल फ्रॉम?
यस सर, इंपोर्ट
From our software to SketchUp, yes. But आप हमारे सॉफ्टवेयर से SketchUp में क्यों ले जाना चाहेंगे सर? We give you many much better feature. SketchUp might give you a colorful image, but हमारा shadow analysis is much better as compared to SketchUp any day. हम
Sir,
shadow analysis calculate करते हैं on the basis of per square meter per hour.
सर आप
हाँ जी,
सॉरी सर आप इंपोर्ट नहीं कर सकते, एक्सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं यहाँ से।
हाँ, मतलब यहाँ से आप SketchUp में ले जा सकते हो, करेक्ट?
क्योंकि सर यहाँ पे बेसिकली 3D मॉडलिंग करना आसान है। यहाँ पे आप 3D मॉडलिंग जल्दी से करके अगर आपको स्केचअप में करना भी है कलरिंग और रेगुलेशन वगैरह, तो वो आप वहां ले जाके कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि 3D मॉडल यहाँ पे बहुत जल्दी बना लेंगे
आप यहाँ से एक्सपोर्ट करके वहाँ पे अपलोड कर लें, वहाँ पे आप
रेंडरिंग और जो भी आप करना चाहते हैं फिर वो वहां पे कर सकते हैं।
Ladies and gentlemen, can you do this? Yes, sir. Okay. Any more questions?
या अली show them how to export in SketchUp.
When I go on here, I have an option to export for SketchUp, so I can click on this and can upload a SketchUp file into a SketchUp, my SketchUp software directly from
Plus CAD. Ali, can you show CAD? Do you have CAD on your system?
I'll just let me check. I have some previous.
Use online
Just
CAD.
just a second. I'll show you just to get an idea of how CAD layout can also be derived.
We'll be sending the design that we have made, जो हम लोगों ने design बनाया है, plus all the reports in the email to everybody. So I'm sharing a form with everybody on this. Can you please fill this so that we can share the design and everything to you with you? It will be really requested that you share, you fill this form so that we can share this. Plus, we will also give you whoever is interested in a free demo for some time so that you can try your hand on this software. Please fill this form and share it with us.
So here on my screen you can see here there's a layout from a previous site of mine. What basically it's showing me is that in blue you can see the outline of all the roofs, like all the roof I had designed, the outline of it can be seen in blue. Similarly for the obstacles, and then in green you have the panels, and if I had walkways it would be depicted in red, and this you can have it in a DX format as well from a software. And these are true to the dimension. So like these dimensions are exactly the ones which you had designed with. You can even measure them and see.
Any other features that you would like to know about or ask about or see, anything that you've seen in any other software that is something that you would like to compare with our software, please feel free to ask. I think everybody is okay with this. So I've shared the form in the chat part. आप इस फॉर्म पे अपनी डिटेल्स दे सकते हैं सो दैट हम आपको ये सारी डिटेल्स जो हमने इधर बनाया सब किया ये सारी रिपोर्ट्स वगैरह जो है आपको भेज देंगे. Along with that, request you to kind of, if you cannot fill the form, just reply to my WhatsApp message or email that you would have received because of which you signed in, and we will still send you the details. आप उसी नंबर पे अपना email ID और नाम भेज दीजिए, and we will take care of it as well. But it would be great if you could fill the form. That keeps it very clean and good for us as well. All right, everybody. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. Yes. Okay. Then in that case, let's close this today. If anybody wants something, you can drop in a mail to my email ID, contact@solarcompare.co.in, or you can give me a call on 997-115-7755. This is my phone number. And you can fill in the form. So we have given you all the details about how you can do this. And if you're interested, please give us a call, drop in a mail or a WhatsApp. That will be more than enough for us. If you drop in a mail today, we will send you all the details from our side. If you have any questions, give us a call. Again, I'm repeating this, or drop in a mail. But anyway, thank you everybody for your precious time. We appreciate it, and hope to talk to you pretty soon. Thanks, Ali. Thanks, Akib.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
See you around, guys. Bye-bye.
sir. Okay.
Bye bye.